This week we continue to make our way north through the beautiful Exumas and discover a wonderful place at Normans Cay. The girls catch our biggest fish to date that could feed the entire crew. We explore the wonderful mangroves and rapids and of course come head to head with a bit of drama.
Okay, we've got the tender stuck. Low tide's at 4 o'clock.
We investigate the history of Pablo Escobar's drug runner plane that had a doomed flight one night. Find our own private beach bar and head back up to Nassau to have a wonderful, fun night at the Atlantis before sadly saying goodbye to Ali and her crew.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Sailing the Recipe. I'm Colin, and this is my 3 girls and wife Bex, and this is our floating home, the Recipe. Together we left home and embarked on a journey of a lifetime. After crossing oceans, we have recently been in lockdown in Antigua for the last 8 months. Tune in, hit that subscribe button, and join us every Sunday to see where our recipe takes us next.
Can I take a picture of it with the string?
I found it.
We thought it was going to be a barracuda again, because that's what we caught 7 times now. And it wasn't, so we went over a reef and then we got this big thing and we were reeling it in knowing it was a barracuda, and then Jess got the binoculars out and only about 10 metres away we realised it was this.
What is it?
It's a red snapper.
Big snapper, right? Hey kids, how's the socialising going?
Very good.
Yeah, socialising with people you know or people you don't know? Keep away from Bob, who says he's Barbara from the home country.
Normans Cay is relatively inaccessible. Nestled about as far away from anything significant as you can get. Just offshore, however, those who do manage to find a way to visit there will come across a sunken World War II-era military transport plane that was once flipped to fuel Pablo Escobar's expanding cocaine trade in the US. In '78, Pablo's smuggling point man, Carlos Lida, gradually began taking over Normans Cay from locals by purchasing small portions of the island. Shortly after, Lida hustled them out for a full-scale commandeering of the property with the guise of using it as a strategic point for drug runners to rest and refuel on their way to the United States from Colombia.
It's fun, isn't it? It's amazing how preserved it is, but it is forming a part of it, isn't it?
Despite the mammoth operation underway, all the bells and whistles couldn't prevent a Curtiss C-46 Commando from finding its final resting place on a shallow sandbank. The smuggling plane was abandoned, not before its cargo was hurriedly recovered. Currently, depending on tides, visitors can easily snorkel here with little effort.
So we're just walking along the sea, walking along the front of Normans Cay's, and just randomly, there's this empty bar, would you believe, manned by a member of staff and some beautifully decked out chairs. Hopefully, they might even have a cold beer. Who knows? What a crazy experience. Yet another gem in Bahamas, finding this glorious tranquil beach. I just can't believe it's all to ourselves. There's planes taking off, landing, with investors trying to put their money into this island, which is absolutely gorgeous, so I can see exactly why they're doing that. Were you not in a James Bond movie?
That was me coming out. Did you not see it? You missed it. Darn it.
It's just like Halle Berry back in the movie. It feels like someone else has peed in it.
It does. This water feels like somebody's peed in it. And I think it's fabulous. This is another gem, yet another gem that the Bahamas has to offer. We are in Normans Cay, been recommended by a good friend to come and visit, which we have, and it hasn't disappointed. This is awesome. Basically, it's mangroves going through different cays, causing reefs. I can imagine this is where you would get nurse sharks kind of, hatching and basically a nursery for all these fish. It's absolutely stunning. So many turtles, I've lost count. What an amazing place.
Mangroves, and this water is very warm. I'd quite like it to be this warm where the boat is, but no, it's cold where the boat is.
It's almost like a hole in the island.
Can't do a no-handed push-up.
Go on.
Tell us.
This is what physics tells us. You can't do a no-handed push-up. But watch this. Put your feet in the sand. Oh, you can be Michael Jackson.
I'm back. How far can you go down?
I'm running! I'm running!
Oh, it's beautiful. We've just come through all these little rivers and now we're on a little sandbar with a crazy dog.
I think this sandbar's going to be underwater within.
Probably in about an hour,
So we've come in a bit too low tide, and we're getting towed now in the way the Romans used to do it with the horses.
Yeah, look at Muna, she's just swimming around everywhere.
Okay, we've got the tender stuck. Low tide's at 4 o'clock, and we came in at 10 past, so serves us right. The tender can just about get under. Okay. Yeah. We've got to keep Muna on board or she'll jump off. It's getting late. The sun's going down. Hope we're not here in the dark. I wouldn't want to navigate this in the dark. Eh? Found our way. Found our way. Tide's doing all the work for me now. It's a beautiful sunset. There we go.
After 9 days and 9 nights of sailing away from Antigua, we finally reached the north part of the Bahamas, Nassau, where of course the infamous Atlantis lies. I've read about this place in many magazines and I've always wanted to visit there from being a young boy. Now's the time to finally get stuck in and enjoy the last few days before my sister has to fly back home with the family.
What a marina. Very posh nosh. Gonna have to put some makeup on.
So we don't normally come to fancy marinas. We don't like spending the money. But it is Ali's
Oh, here's Alex.
last night, tomorrow night, so we thought we'd treat the kids to Atlantis. You can't come to the Bahamas and not come to the Atlantis. So there we go.
It's very nice being in some chlorine after so long. This is very cool being in a water park as well.
How's Atlantis?
Very good. I like.
How's the rides?
Good, there's no queues. Well.
Oh really?
Across the sky, won't outshine my love for you. Fire in the dark with blinding light, won't outshine my love for you.
Water parks are always fun when you have kids with you. The main one being my husband. Stop videoing me.
Why not? I like the way you turn into a 5-year-old when you're on these things, like you used to do. Oh, Daddy, Daddy, come with me, come with me.
I'm like, I'm excited. Get your ass down there. Super fun and different day off the boat. Before I was rudely interrupted, we've had a super lovely and different day, and a water park, which is one of Colin's favourite things in the world, and I generally get dragged down every slide, which has happened, and it's all fun and games, and the kids are still going, and we need a beer.
It has to be said that this place is huge. You need a site map just to get around Atlantis. Atlantis Bahama really do take care of marine conservation, and it's obvious this is a top priority. Once you get inside, the aquariums gives a whole feel of real Atlantis. It becomes apparent that everything is just huge. It's a marvel at all the architecture, the small details, the restaurants, the bars, the corridors, the ceilings. No expense has been spared.
Oh, I found my chair. There's where my throne is.
Mr. Atlantis.
I knew there was a chair for me, a throne for me. They don't call me Zeus for nothing, you know.
Darling, it's Neptune.
See? Stop arguing with me. They don't call me Neptune for nothing. Poseidon, king of the sea, god of the sea. Ho ho ho.
Well, you were at his temple a few years ago.
I was. Anyway, I'll give it him back. Poseidon's off to do a bit of gambling now. So the sun has just gone down on Atlantis and we're going out for dinner. My sister is kindly treating us to a meal out, and guess what? In the Atlantis there is a Nobu. So in the Atlantis there's a Nobu. Obviously there's there's two in London, but hey, there's one in the Atlantis, so we're going to try it out. I've never been before, so we're going to go see what it's like. Have to walk through the casino, past the cigars, into the restaurant.
After an amazing meal and spending the last night with Alyson and the family, it was time to finally say goodbye to what has been an amazing adventure for me, and I'm sure Alyson and her family too. This global crisis of COVID and lockdown has been brutal and devastating for both countries and people. But upon reflecting on my own selfish time we just had together, this has allowed my sister and her family to spend more time on the boat with us until a suitable flight came available in Nassau to take us safely home to the UK. Sailing with them up the east of the Caribbean islands to the Bahamas has been such a special journey for me, Bex and the kids, that I'm sure will last for many, many years to come, and the memory will always be cherished. Thanks for tuning in. Join us next week where we get our boat back to ourselves, we give it a good clean down, pack everything away. Bex has some passport issues to deal with.
I like doing some of the jobs, like for example, I like using the chemicals, which are quite satisfying to use.
And then we explore the rest of Bahamas, Nassau, and all the crazy houses that it has to offer. See you next week.